Okie dokie. In this video, I'm going to be going over what I worked on with Max. It was primarily neutrality, teaching him what I want him to do, not necessarily correcting him for what I don't. I was doing that in the beginning, but this is primarily for encouraging him to do what I want him to do. There are going to be very, very light distractions in this video, but that's because I want to start him at an achievable level. I want him to feel success so that he wants to play this game with me. That's the goal in this. Alright, so in this, I have him in a down. Down is mandatory, okay? Right here, he's following somebody. What I'm waiting for is eye contact. I want him to give me eye contact, and we're just going to watch this video, and I'm going to break it down for you as things happen. Right here, so in that shot right there, I was showing when he is in a down, in order to ensure that he's in a down, you're going to put your foot on that leash, okay? This is so and you want the leash short enough that if he does try to get up, it's uncomfortable and he's wanting to go back down to turn that pressure off.
Good.
Cool. I asked him for his name. So when I'm training a dog, name does not mean recall. Name means look at me. So just give me eye contact. So when I say his name, I want him to look at me, and when he looks at me, I give him a very high value reward, and that's freeze-dried beef liver. You can get them at Petco for like $30. You can get a big tub of it. But it's just practicing doing nothing, which is something he struggles with. Right here, he's getting excited. I'm also keeping an eye on his body language. His body language is going to tell me a lot of where his brain is at. So if his body is relaxed, his eyes are calm, and a lot of time a really good note to look for is if he's laying on his hip or not. If he's laying on his hip, he's going to be more relaxed than if he is in like a pounce position where his feet are directly under him. Here, he can't spring up out of nowhere, so he's more relaxed. Good. So now he's offering eye contact. When he offers it, absolutely I give him treats.
Good.
Now, another thing you're going to notice is I'm actually marking with a word. A marker is a snapshot in time. It's a way that we communicate with dogs to let them know in this moment this is exactly correct. And he sees that person over there on the left. It's a marker in time. So every time he does something I want him to continue to do, I mark it with good. To let him know, so that in a moment where he's like, I don't know, then he looks at me and we say, good, and he goes, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and then he gets rewarded for it.
Good.
There's noises happening, and I keep this very mild. I want him to succeed. I want him to, on a struggle level between 1 and 5, or 1 and 10, I want him to be at a 2 or a 3. I want it to be almost easy, because we're just learning how to do this. So the way that I perceive him looking up at my knee like that is he's trying to find that boundary of where he can get that reward. So do I have to look at this human in their face? Do I have to just look in their general direction? And my expectation is to look at me in my face. I want him to give me that contact.
Good.
And this is what I'm going to want you to be doing for your homework. I want you to put his training collar on. I want you to go to a park when it's not busy, but there's some people walking around. Or if the only time you can get to a park is when it's busy, is you're going to create big distance so that he's comfortable enough to lay down. Now, if he tries to get up, you need to put him back in that down. Down is mandatory. All right, right here. So what you're going to see is he gets really excited. So do we see how his ears go forward? and then his eyes get his whole face kind of gets stiff. He gets very focused. And it's all for that person on the left, way over there. That shows you kind of where his distraction level is and what he can handle. Something like this is going to be a higher distraction than for other dogs, but that body language shows me that he's keeping his body under control most of the time. And switching over, he's still in that side hip position. He's just switching
Good.
sides.
All done.
All right, so your homework is going to be taking him to a park, having high value rewards, no other obedience. It's going to be for 5 to 10 minutes, if that, just until he starts getting antsy. When you start to see him getting antsy, have him try to do one more succession, just like one more time of being correct, and then break him and put him in his crate and go home, or like put him in the car and go home. That way, and then put him in the crate immediately when you get home, or like after he gets water or whatever. Because when he sleeps on it, it's going to soak, quote unquote, soak into his brain better, and he's going to understand next time better. Kind of like when kids come home from school, depending on their age, it's going to benefit them from taking a nap afterwards to help them absorb all that information that they've learned. Sleeping is like where the brain puts in the storage, puts it into filing cabinets instead of it just being paperwork everywhere.